Hi, everybody. My name is Dan Dempsey, and I'm the founder and CEO of Venomyx Therapeutics. At Venomyx, we are making the next generation of antitoxin therapeutics. Our first focus is the snake anti-venom market. Every year, around the world, there are over 5 million snake bites. This results in over 500,000 amputations and 150,000 deaths. The World Health Organization has deemed this to be one of the world's most neglected public health issues. Naturally, this has led to a widespread fear and hatred of snakes, but snakes are not the real problem here. The real problem is reliance on old technology. So antivenom is made today in much the same way it was made back in 1890. Snake venom is milked from a snake, injected into a horse, and over many months, the horse produces antibodies against the toxins in the venom. What you end up with is conventional anti-venom. Conventional anti-venom, unfortunately, does not always work. It's associated with a very difficult production process requiring an army of snakes, horses, and the people that handle these animals. It has side effects because you're taking horse antibodies and you're putting them into a human system. And last, it's restricted in its treatment because it only works for the snakes that were used in the immunization process. We decided it was time for a change, and we are developing the world's first universal recombinant snake antivenom. We are harnessing the power of a special kind of antibody known as a single domain antibody that has a variety of advantages for our application. They're safe because their sequences resemble the sequences of human antibodies. They're effective because they show high affinity binding to conserved epitopes in snake toxins. And they're robust. Their solubility and their stability means that for the first time ever, our antivenom can be available in the field. Introducing the EpiPen for snake bites. This is particularly important for snake bites because, as we say, time is tissue. So how are we doing this? We started with our proprietary libraries of billions of antibodies, and we've screened these against the clinically significant toxins present in all snake venom. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. And how do you find a needle in a haystack? You bring a magnet. In this analogy, the magnet is our toxin, and the needle are our antibody candidates. We then take our candidates, we sequence them, and we can put them into bacteria, which allows us to manufacture them at scale in microbial fermentation systems. We're happy to announce that we are seeing early preclinical success in binding to some of the most dangerous species in both Asia as well as the United States. The snake antivenom market is a large and largely underserved market. The main regions that we are focused on are Asia, Africa, South America, and the United States, including a relatively large veterinary market in the United States. Each of these areas has distinct antivenom suppliers, but all of them are relying on old horse antibody technology. We're operating in a sweet spot for bringing drugs to market. Our indication is an acute indication, which means that we can perform our clinical trials at a fraction of the time of others. We're able to do all of our clinical trials overseas, where the people need it. And we qualify for fast-track status with regulatory agencies. This is allowing us to get to market at about 50% of the time and less than 10% of the cost of typical drug development process. So we started here at IndieBio with our targets and our proprietary libraries, and in the past 4 months, we've been able to develop our candidates, and we are now filing our patent. We're now moving into our preclinical studies, and we would like to finish with our phase 1 clinical trials by the end of next summer. This will pave the way for us to move into our phase 2 and phase 3, and we are expecting a commercial rollout, approval and commercial rollout by the end of 2019. We are starting off in Asia, where it's almost half of the snakebite incidence in the world. We will then have 3 product iterations, one for Africa, one for South America, and one for the United States. Our customers are government organizations and nonprofits who purchase antivenom in bulk to supply the citizens of developing countries who are deeply affected. We also plan to license our products to leading pharmaceutical companies in these regions to help us with distribution. I'm also happy to announce that we have had some interest from several of the key prominent players in our area, in our space, and we have recently received a letter of intent for a milestone-based licensing deal that's valued upwards of $200 million. Their help with our preclinical studies, manufacturing, and clinical trials will help us to get to market in India and the rest of Asia. Our team is comprised of myself as CEO, Dipankar Roy, our COO, and Alex Capavilla, our CSO. We each have scientific and business experience in both big pharma as well as the biotech startup space. We have complementary skills, but we all share the same vision of getting our solution out to the people who need it most. So what's next for us? We have noticed that our platform is uniquely poised to create bacterial antitoxins. So we are looking first at the antibiotic-resistant strains, and we would also like to focus on strains that are of great importance to biodefense contracts. We're now raising a $3 million seed round. This capital will enable us to demonstrate clinical safety for Vipax in Asia, and will also enable us to generate our antibacterial candidates. In the time that I've been up here speaking with you, 2 people have died from a snake bite. This is preventable, and we are in a unique position to change an industry and change the lives of those affected by this disorder. Thank you very much.